Thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2. It's a great day to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Let's jump right in. You know, I always think about Baker Mayfield. He is the quarterback that the Pittsburgh Steelers let slip away. After he came off injury, he had the shoulder problem with the Cleveland Browns. He won them the first playoff game in a long time. He was a free agent. And when he first signed with the Carolina Panthers, he was signed for $1 million. So the Pittsburgh Steelers could have got him absolutely for pretty much dirt cheap by NFL standards. And I always think about Baker Mayfield wearing the black and gold for a couple specific reasons. Number one, his grit, his toughness, his fiery demeanor, and he can flat out throw the football and play football. What happened to him in Cleveland when Odell Beckham, Odell Beckham pretty much got the entire locker room to turn against him because Odell Beckham is a selfish piece of garbage. That's a whole different video. I don't want to get into that. I'd rather talk about the great Baker Mayfield. Could you imagine where the Pittsburgh Steelers would be right now if Baker Mayfield was their quarterback? And this is not a knock on Aaron Rodgers at all. So I'm not knocking Aaron. It's just that Baker Mayfield is in his prime. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are known for their toughness and their grit and their determination. And Baker Mayfield, to me, he's always fit all of those qualities. I just don't understand how Art Rooney and Coach Tomlin could let Baker Mayfield slip through their fingertips and be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, obviously, they have Mike Evans, and they got one good safety, Antoine Winfield's son. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But you see where I'm going. If Baker Mayfield, the Pittsburgh Steelers, with a guy like Baker Mayfield who is vocal, emotional, tough, he gets it done. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a very dangerous team anytime you play them. And why are they dangerous? They're dangerous because of Baker Mayfield. It's just hard for me to accept that the Pittsburgh Steelers let Baker Mayfield slip through their hands when the Pittsburgh Steelers are always looking for players with that Steeler DNA, as Coach Tomlin says. Baker Mayfield is that guy. So Baker Mayfield yesterday, he performed so well against the Pittsburgh Steelers that his head coach said that he's not going to play him Saturday. Let's see how Baker Mayfield did against the Steelers. Baker Mayfield performed so well against Steelers in joint practice. Bucs head coach won't play him Saturday. After reviewing the tape of today's practice, Todd Bowles just told me he believes Baker Mayfield played so well today in the joint workout with the Steelers, he will not play in Saturday night's game. Most media reports paint a picture of Mayfield and the Buccaneers offense winning against the Steelers' vaunted defense. That included a strong 2-minute drill that ended with Mayfield finding Evans for a touchdown against quarterback Jalen Ramsey. Again, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers fans would have absolutely loved Baker Mayfield. Our defense and our fan base and everybody's very super emotional. They want to see that grit. They want to see that toughness. And I'm not a fan of offensive players at all, especially at the quarterback position. They just rub me the wrong way. And again, that's not directed at Aaron Rodgers. That's just a lot of quarterbacks in general. I'm a defensive guy. But how could you not love the moxie and toughness and the competitiveness of Baker Mayfield? I would have loved to see him wear the black and gold. Pittsburgh Steelers would have the quarterback that they need for the next 10 or 12 years. And we could have pretty much won a Super Bowl again already if we had Baker Mayfield. Right? Can't cry over spilled milk, but you see where I'm going. TJ Watt names 3 young Steeler defenders who stood out at camp. I love what TJ Watt says about Jack Sawyer. We'll get to that. TJ Watt said, Peyton Wilson looks incredible, Watt said in a one-on-one interview with Missy Matthews via Steelers.com. Second year around, we always talk about that jump in year 1, year 2, very physical, becoming more vocal. In our room, I think Derek Harmon looks really good for a young rookie. I think Jack Sawyer looks good too. Just guys that are football guys, and they're asking the right questions. They want to succeed. They want to know how they can continue to improve and get better. So it's been refreshing. When you think about Derek Harmon, Jack Sawyer, Peyton Wilson, I love how the Pittsburgh Steelers always seem to assemble these types of players on the defensive side of the ball. That's why I absolutely love the Pittsburgh Steelers. I love the black and gold. I really do. I can't even put it in words how much I love the Pittsburgh Steelers. Veterans set the overall tone for the team, but there is nothing like a talented young crop of players to push the rest of the roster to be at its best. Jack Sawyer's energy pushes Nick Herbig and even Watt and Alex Highsmith to give their best effort. Derek Harmon enters a crowded D-line room to help push guys like Daniel Akule, Keanu Benton, and Isaiah Loudermilk. TJ Watt said this about Jack Sawyer. I think it's hysterical. We call him 5-star. He's a 5-star recruit. The golden child out of Ohio, Watt said. He's been great. He really has been. He's a big guy, isn't afraid to go and hit people, but also has some good finesse moves. He's been a good rookie so far, but it's still too early to say. I know TJ Watt is just trying to motivate Jack Sawyer even more with that little bit on the end, but it's too early to say because he knows that Jack Sawyer is going to read that. I absolutely love Jack Sawyer. Once Jack Sawyer chains his pass rush moves together better and better, and he becomes more polished, hopefully he becomes the next Kevin Green for the Pittsburgh Steelers. All day yesterday, it's being reported that Bucs wide receiver Mike Evans couldn't be covered during practice Thursday and won most of his battles with Steelers cornerback Jalen Ramsey. Todd Bowles has said he's seen enough and won't play him Saturday. I mean, Mike Evans has been a fantastic receiver for a very long time in the NFL. Jalen Ramsey wanted star wide receiver Mike Evans and reportedly got more than he can handle. And also deleted tweet. Pooter report calls Evans unstoppable against Ramsey and the Steelers secondary. When you don't have a live pass rush, it's easier for the receivers to get open. So let's not put too much stock into that. Pittsburgh's offense had its moments too, according to Pooter report in another deleted tweet. Tight end Pat Freiermuth scored on an accurate pass from Aaron Rodgers away from rookie safety Shiloh Sanders, son of Dion. But even in one-on-one competition periods, it sounds like wide receiver DK Metcalf didn't get loose for many plays. The running game, which has underwhelmed in camp, has its issues too, with running back Jalen Warren reportedly tackled in the backfield for a loss on one occasion. Per the Athletics' Mike DeFabo, the Steelers' offense won 7 shots, 6-1. The 2-minute drill was far less successful. Pat Freiermuth said the offense dominated 7 shots, 6-1, but in the 2-minute drill, they failed to record a first down. Mixed bag for the first team offense. Mike DeFabo tweeted, I don't know how to feel about this, the preseason, but it is concerning to me that the Pittsburgh Steelers they just can't run the football. It's never a good, I don't care if it's preseason. I don't care what it is. It's like, man, you can't pick up 4 or 5 yards on a play, even 3 yards sometimes. It's almost like they can't run the football at all. To me, that's very, very alarming. I also want to make a correction from yesterday. I made a video about the released depth chart, and I had Lou Nichols. When I read the depth chart, it looked like to me that Lou Nichols was second string behind Jalen Warren. I think that I misread the depth chart. I'm not sure, but the whole entire point of the video was that the Pittsburgh Steelers did not run the football well at all, and Caleb Johnson did not play well, and he got a bulk of the carries. That was the point of the video. I just want to apologize and make the correction in case I read the depth chart the wrong way. I can't wait to see what the Pittsburgh Steelers do against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this Saturday. And with that being said, thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2.